A New York jury has found Kevin Spacey not liable for battery in his sexual abuse trial. Actor Anthony Rapp had claimed the Academy Award winner was sexually inappropriate towards him when he was a teenager. Spacey denied all allegations. Jurors on Thursday decided that Rapp had not proven his allegations. For more on this, I want to bring in Rachel Fiset. She's co-founder and managing partner of Zweiback, Fiset Zalduendo LLP, a law firm in Los Angeles. So, Rachel, I guess, what was your reaction just to this verdict when you heard it?
Well, it's a little shocking how quickly the jury turned around the verdict. In just under 90 minutes, they came back with a defense verdict. So clearly, they really didn't have to think too much about it. They did not believe that the plaintiff had proved his case, in part, perhaps, because this case was about 35 years old, and some of the allegations had to be dropped. Some of the claims were dropped prior to the verdict coming back. So I think the plaintiff had issues going forward since the beginning of this trial.
So was it essentially a weak case, or did Spacey's legal team's argument win the day?
It's hard to say, probably a little bit of both. An old case is, by its definition, always a little weak. The witnesses are gone. It becomes harder to jog people's memory. Memories fade. And so a 35-year-old case is, by definition, always going to be difficult to prove, a higher burden to get forward all the facts that you would need to get forward to meet all of the elements of the claim being made. And Kevin Spacey's defense was, this just plain old didn't happen. This man is taking advantage of the Me Too movement and basically the momentum that had started in 2017 to bring back a claim that was 35 years old. So it wasn't even a close call on the facts that were being alleged. Kevin Spacey's team specifically just said, this did not happen.
I was talking to a defense attorney the other day who said, closing arguments are where the magic happens, where if you're going to win the case, it happens in closing arguments. So Spacey's lawyer, Jennifer Keller, had complained that Rapp's lawyer broke trial rules when he finished his closing argument by telling jurors that he hopes, quote, you don't let him get away with it this time. What did he mean by that? And was she right to object? Was that going too far in a closing argument?
She's right to object because this time implies that there were all these other times that he's gotten away with it. And frankly, they didn't prove that case. That wasn't the case meant to be proven in front of the jury. So she had a lot to dig her hands into there and then say that was the strategy of the plaintiff, was to say, basically, Kevin Spacey's a bad guy. He's had all these allegations against him, so he must have done it this time. And her point was, this wasn't the case. This was a party that never happened. These are facts that never happened. This plaintiff is simply relying on these other bad acts alleged against Mr. Spacey.
And Rachel, just take me to law school here for a second. When you make a closing argument, you can't just riff. You have to use what has been proved at trial and stay within those boundaries, right?
You have boundaries. You have a little more room for argument in a closing statement than anywhere else, but you have boundaries. You have to stay within the facts that were presented to the jury. You can't misstate what was presented. You are allowed to argue your case, but it has to be within what the jury has seen.
All right, Rachel Fiset, thank you for helping us with the case and my knowledge of the law.